Morning, friends. Wednesday, April 22nd. Such a joy to be with you, to connect with you, to share with you just a word of encouragement, and spend a little bit of time in prayer each day. Really is a privilege. And let me just encourage you, as we continue into day 9,300 of quarantine, of social isolation, I would just be so happy and just so privileged to continue to connect with you in this way. We as a church, we exist to grow in faith and to make Christ known. To grow in faith and to make Christ known. And so we as a church, we take seriously our call to continue to grow in our faith. One of the ways that we are trying to do that as a congregation in these next 6 weeks, as we're thinking about being at the table with Jesus, I'm encouraging you to read through the Gospel of Luke, starting at the beginning all the way through to the end. That's why we read through the Gospel of Luke. But today, for Wednesday, April 22nd, the text that we're focusing on is Luke 1, 39 through, I think, all the way through 66. And that's the story of again, the Annunciation. That's the Annunciation in which Elizabeth is promised this baby, John the Baptist. Mary, Zachariah, and Elizabeth, they're ordinary people. Regular, ordinary people who have some pretty difficult circumstances to overcome. Remember, Mary, she was probably, I think of Mary as a middle school girl. She was young, kind of insignificant, perhaps struggling to find her way. But then remember this, that Elizabeth was well advanced in years. Two unlikely characters. Two people who, at least when the angel Gabriel visits Elizabeth, she greets her by saying this: "Greetings, highly favored one." Greetings, highly favored one. You are really, really important. That's a way of saying you, insignificant, unlikely, you are highly favored. You are, let's put it in modern day terms, you are the bomb. You've got it going on. You are it. Regular, ordinary person that God uses to do extraordinary things. You and I, we're some pretty unlikely characters right now. We've been invited into some pretty unlikely moments in our lives. This moment of our life. Remember, Mary and Elizabeth, two unlikely characters. Greeted by the angel Gabriel, "Greetings, highly favored one." And they do extraordinary things. Absolutely extraordinary things. You and I, we too are some pretty unlikely characters, and we are called to do extraordinary things, unbelievable things, astounding, incredible things. I know of a middle school student right now who is trying to write to just words of thanks, words of encouragement, words of appreciation to first responders, to medical personnel in all 50 states. That's an incredible, awesome, unbelievable thing that this middle school person is doing. You, what can you do? How can you brighten someone's day? How can you show appreciation? How can you show thanks? How can you show God's love in real and tangible ways? We are called our ordinary selves. We are called to do some extraordinary things. And so today, as you read through Luke 1, starting with verse 39, and then continuing to the end of the reading, know that God has called you to do some extraordinary things. And know that God often, doesn't always, but God often works through the lowly, the forgotten, the downcast, the outcast, those who have been forgotten. So, my friends, God is calling you. God is calling you to do extraordinary, not ordinary, extraordinary things. So let's get at it. Let's go do it. Let's get after it. Would you pray with me on this Wednesday? Lord God, you work out your plan through ordinary people like Zechariah, like Elizabeth, like Mary. That gives me hope. God, I'm ready to follow you and whatever you have in mind for me. Lead me. I will follow. Amen. Friends, have a great, God-blessed Wednesday. Be well.